let's start with bird flu. Gosh darn it, that bird flu. We knew it was coming. I mean, Bill Gates warned us, and he strangely knows when these things are happening. But the bird flu is here now. It happened in Louisiana. It happened to a farmer. He's been hospitalized. He's in critical condition. He's experiencing severe respiratory illness related to H5N1 infection, which is bird flu. CDC says the patient was likely exposed to the virus from a backyard flock, which could be the first time such a flock has been associated with bird flu infection in the U.S. Now, an investigation into the source, they're questioning the chickens right now. Some of the chickens are in line to be questioned. One of them was caught coughing, but another one had the sniffles. So we don't know who gave the farmer the flu, but Gavin Newsom is about to spring into action. Right, Liz?
I heard that even though this happened in Louisiana, Gavin Newsom heard about it because he was at the French Laundry restaurant up in San Francisco.
That serves really nice chicken.
They do, yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, very expensive chicken. But anyway, go ahead.
Only suitable for Gavin Newsom. Listen, on March 19th of 2020, I lived in California. Unfortunately, I'm a survivor. I lived in San Diego when he locked down the state, and the experience was like, we weren't allowed to go outside. I was sitting in a park on a hillside by my house. And when I say park, I mean a grassy hill, not a playground. And a police officer on an ATV comes up to me and goes, "Ma'am, this park is closed." And I was like, "I'm just sitting here. There's nobody else around." And he's like, "Well, social distancing rules from Gavin Newsom." And I was like,
you're the only one that violated is you on your ATV.
Exactly. And I pointed that out to him, but he didn't think it was amusing, as amusing as I did, although I couldn't really see because he had a mask on.
Yeah, okay, good. He might have been smiling under that mask, most likely not in California. I don't think anybody is smiling in California. Gavin Newsom is the Justin Trudeau of America. He really is. I mean, the guy is a wannabe dictator. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that he, his father is Fidel Castro. I didn't mean that literally, that he is Justin Trudeau. But he's the closest thing that we have to Justin Trudeau. And so he said that he passed a proclamation. The proclamation, I'm quoting, is targeted action to ensure government agencies have the resources and flexibility they need to respond quickly to this outbreak. Now, I don't know about you, but I think if it's in Louisiana, it might come through Texas first, and then New Mexico, and then, nothing really goes through New Mexico, and then Arizona, and boom, there it's in California. But California is responding first. And when I think bird flu, I think we've got to have some emergency measures and more money going into the government and their state coffers so they can enforce common sense rules. And that's what he's doing. He said, building on California's testing and monitoring system. Oh, that was so good last time. We're committed to further protecting public health. Oh, he's doing it for us, gang. Supporting our agriculture industry, ensuring that Californians have access to accurate, up-to-date information. How does he say this with a straight face?
As $176 million are poured into Moderna's coffers for bird flu vaccine development. That's from July of 2024. It's COVID all over again.
Who would have guessed it? Well, I mean, again, Bill Gates did. The World Economic Forum did. They were fighting disinformation during the election. They said that was the number one threat. But I bet if we check, bird flu or some sort of pandemic is back at the top of the charts.
You know what's funny?
With a bullet.
You know what's funny in his proclamation? He actually confirms that he says there have been no documented instances of human-to-human transmission to date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. While the risks to the public remain low, I'd say almost at this point, unbelievably low, like zero, because you've had chicken to farmer transmission, but not farmer to farmer or human to human, because animals are people too. When I say farmer, there could be some monkeys on the loose in Florida. Oh my gosh, I never thought of that. All of those monkeys. If you had monkeys will mysteriously start popping up in neighborhoods on your bingo card for this year, you might be a big winner. I didn't have that on my bingo card, but apparently in Florida, monkeys have become a problem. And they're saying if one of them is I'm not kidding, I'm not making this up. If one of them is at your window or your door, don't open it. That's pretty good advice. I didn't think I needed that. But then again, I didn't think I'd see monkeys at my door, so what do I know? Anyway, back to California where things truly make sense. The governor's office said 34 cases of bird flu in humans have been detected in California. Okay, 34 cases of. Have you heard about all those horrible, horrible deaths of the 34 people that caught the bird flu?
Yeah, but do you know when I saw the report, it looked like they'd taken a magic eraser and just scrubbed out COVID and put bird flu. So they have some similarities, those deaths do, that just, we should believe everything these government officials tell us, Glenn. We shouldn't question anything.
Right. You're right. It's horrible. And I'll bet it. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it. I'm not saying it behind their back. They just refuse to listen, to radio. I bet it comes from the Amish. I bet the Amish milk is somehow or another. I bet the birds with a cough or the sniffles are pecking the udders of the Amish cows, and it's going into raw milk, and those damn Amish people are spreading this cow milk bird flu all over the one guy in Louisiana. That's got to be the answer. Let's get the government on them. Let's all get together and say enough with the Amish.
You're making a joke right now, but truly on his proclamation, I'm reading it right now, he talks about reducing raw dairy product contamination. He actually is going after the raw milk. Oh, my God.
Let me address you. If you're living in California, okay, Why? I really like the weather. Yeah, I love the weather in California. I've always wanted to live in California. It was my dream to work at KFMB in San Francisco. Always wanted to live. Since a kid, I wanted to live in. But at some point, I sobered up. I went into Alcoholics Anonymous, and I realized, well, that's a really bad idea. What are you doing in California? Get out while you can. Take it from Liz. What was it, Liz, that you was the final straw? Was it the park? Or what was it that you went, I can't do it anymore?
Truly, the tipping point for me leaving California was the fact that we left in November of 2020 because I was 6 months pregnant. And I was like, wait a second. We can't raise a child in California safely and to be a good and holy person. I, as a parent, don't feel like I have rights over my child. And so we packed up our stuff and out we went.
You don't. So may I recommend, if you're living in California, get pregnant. It'll sober you up quickly. Even if you're a man, get pregnant. Because in California, we know men can get pregnant. So get pregnant right away. You'll sober up and you'll get your ass to Texas. Now, if you're in California and you're like, this sucks, I want to vote exactly the same way because I'm completely clueless as what's causing all of these problems in California, I'm going to move to Texas. Stay away from our state. In fact, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee today, and I would just like to say, you're starting to wreck Nashville. Get out of our states. I personally have no problem with real estate agents when they see the number come up and it's like, oh, it's a California area code, not answering the phone or saying, man, all of our listings have just burned in a horrible fire while we were losing our guns in the lake. Gosh, I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. Liz, I found out that Melinda Gates was looking at a house in my neighborhood. Melinda Gates? I about had a heart attack.
I feel like the sound of the Wicked Witch of the West is like
oh
coming
my gosh,
in behind
it was.
us.
It really was. All the neighbors met and they're like, we got to stop this. How do we stop this?
Yeah, pool your money, buy the house out from under her, prevent her from moving in.
We were ready. We were ready. But anyway, back to Gavin Newsom, who is the Justin Trudeau of Canada. And I think what's happening to Justin Trudeau is in the future of Gavin Newsom. I don't know if you know, Gavin Newsom has a favorability rating now of 12. For anybody who said, oh, Donald Trump's the pariah of the world, he didn't have an approval rating of 12. He had an approval rating of, what was his lowest, like 38? 38. That's the Himalayas compared to a rating of 12. And in Canada, that's like 8 people.